the Ask Anything video with BentBarbell. We're here vacationing at Ocean City, Maryland, and we're taking some time to go through some questions that you guys asked me on Instagram and Facebook. I'm going to start with Instagram here. Taylor247 asks, how often do you meal prep? What options are your favorites to take the monotony out of chicken, broccoli, and sweet potatoes? Honestly, to make it not so boring, in the past I've always kind of eaten the same thing every day and eat a lot of those typical bro foods like chicken and steak and all that good stuff. But recently I've switched to like flexible dieting, like if it fits your macros, and I believe that diet, like, it's not even really a diet, it's basically just eating a balanced set of meals and eating basically anything you want to eat as long as it fits within your macros and as long as you're meeting your daily nutritional requirements. So by following that diet, you're allowed to eat ice cream every once in a while. If you want to eat, you know, a little bit of ice cream a day or a donut or something like that, you're totally able to, and it's a much more like livable diet. It's a much greater way to live, and I believe living a balanced life is very important, and you shouldn't let bodybuilding run your life. So I don't let myself get bored by eating only those like foods. I allow myself to experiment with other foods and stuff. Next up, RC Drew 2 asks, if you have to move to another country for future career opportunities, let's say Canada, would you ever consider moving to Canada? If yes, which city and why? If no, which country will you consider moving into and why? Unless I'm getting a job that's like making like $1 million a year, there's no way you're getting me to move to Canada because I absolutely hate the cold weather. So I'm trying to move somewhere down south actually currently. So I definitely would not be moving to Canada unless you were paying me some big bucks. But if I had to pick any country, I would probably say Australia, just because I think it seems somewhat similar to America and because it's obviously nice and warm there. Alright, next up, DWare2 asks, what type of protein do you take, and do you take any pre-workout, and if so, what kind? I don't actually take any pre-workout right now. As far as pre-workout goes, I'd say I'd probably just do a little bit of coffee every once in a while maybe, or like a Red Bull or Monster or something like that. I don't feel like spending the money on a pre-workout when I can pretty much get the same effect with an energy drink. Protein wise, I'm taking basically whey protein right now. My older brother is sponsored by a company called Reaction Nutrition, so he gave me some of his protein, so I'm actually been using that right now. And then I also use Muscle Tank makes a whey protein that they sell at Sam's Club, which is similar to Costco if they don't have Sam's Club wherever you guys are at. But basically, you can buy it's like a 8-pound bag for like maybe $30, and it lasts me like forever. So that's the kind of protein I'm taking right now. All right, so moving on to Facebook, Morgan Howard Floyd asks, my question I guess would be, what are some good techniques to get a fuller looking chest? Like what works and ways to hold the bar and dumbbells? Morgan, I would probably say that if you're looking to get a fuller chest, like a more rounder chest, I guess you could say, or thicker chest, honestly, I don't believe that there's one single exercise that's going to build, you know, a bigger chest or a rounder chest. It's more or less like the types of reps and the weight that you're using. And especially to go back to the exercise, like when you think about it, like a lot of people think that if you do like an incline dumbbell press, a lot of people are like, oh man, that's gonna only build up my upper chest. But you think about it, if you're using dumbbells and you're going on an incline press, your whole entire pec is contracting. So it's really hard to like actually, you know, specifically target certain areas of that muscle. The whole muscle is going to work. So if there's one exercise really isn't better than the other, the only thing I'll say though is that I would probably try to like utilize a variety of different like techniques as far as like rep ranges and stuff like that, because I've noticed with my experience that if I do real low reps with like a really heavy weight and I do some kind of like powerlifting workout programs, that really helps to like build my chest up and make it a little bit thicker. I just feel like the heavy weight really like overloads the muscle, but at the same time you still want to do some like mid rep ranges and high rep range stuff too, just to get that good burn and tear the muscle down in that way as well. John W. Rechtenwald asks, will you do motivational speaking as a career choice? It's something that I definitely would like to get more into in the future. It's not something that I would want to do like 100% all the time because I'm trying to get into med school and I'd like to be a doctor. That's what I would like to do full time, but it is definitely something that I would like to do on the side, just because I think it'd be cool to travel the world and like meet new people and inspire people and stuff like that. But that's definitely something I would like to do on the side. I think it would be pretty interesting. And then he also goes on to ask, do you have limits to the type of photography you will participate in? I pretty much do mostly like fitness and fashion photography. I don't really go anything beyond that, like implied nudes or anything like that. The modeling world is really crazy. Like, you'll start modeling and you'll get all these crazy, like, perverted people trying to like do all kinds of crazy ass like photo shoots with you and stuff like that. But I don't even like give them people the time of the day. It's pretty much just strictly fitness and fashion for me. And then John also asked, what is your ultimate personal goal as a human being? Well, that's a big question, and I don't think anybody really knows at any point what they truly 100% how they want their life to turn out. But I mean, I have a pretty good idea of what I would like to do. I obviously am trying to get into medical school right now, so I'd like to become a medical doctor one day. As far as like what type of medicine I would like to practice, I'm thinking about orthopedic surgery just with my background in fitness. And then I really like psychology a lot too. So I guess you would say my dream is actually, and this is kind of wild if you were to say this to a doctor, they'd probably say you couldn't do this, but I thought it would be kind of cool to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, work as an orthopedic surgeon, and then Tuesday and Thursday have like kind of like a just like I'll offer like one-on-one psychological advice, like kind of be like a counselor almost, or I could get my master's or PhD in psychology and be like a psychologist for that. So I think that'd be cool to have that switch up, because I hate doing the same thing every day, and I like that a lot because being an orthopedic surgeon is more kind of like straightforward, hands-on. It doesn't take a lot of like, you're not in your head. It's just, you know, you fix a bone, you fix a ligament, and you can actually see the outcome right before you. Whereas like if you're doing some type of like psychological counseling, that's more like in your head. You kind of don't get to see the direct result. So I kind of like the mix of the two. I definitely couldn't be a counselor in itself like all the time. I'd go nuts. I couldn't deal with that. But I like to have that switch off. So that's my dream. And then I'd also like to do some type of like entrepreneur thing where I'm like personal speaking, or have some type of some of my own business or something like that where I'm doing my own thing. So that's my ultimate goal, I guess, in life right now. That could change though. Renan Abade Fiera asks, I'd like to know how to gain muscle but not gaining fat. I will say it's hard to do both at the same time. Like, it's always best to kind of pick like what you want to do. Like, if you want to gain muscle, you need to, you know, go into like a bulking phase. If you want to lose fat, you need to go into a cutting phase. It's hard to do that at the same time, but regardless, I mean, some people will say otherwise, but I feel like it is possible to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. I mean, you obviously won't be maximizing on either of those. It would be much more beneficial for you to do them separately. But I think you can, and to do that, you just want to kind of go on kind of like, I guess you could say, a clean bulk, whatever that is, but just basically eat healthy, not eat too many excess calories, and lift hard, and keep sure you're keeping cardio in your program, and especially if you're a beginner lifter. I mean, you know, pretty much anything can happen within that first year. So as long as you're, you know, eating fairly clean, working out hard, and not skipping out on cardio, and actually including cardio into your program at least like 3 days a week, I think it is possible to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. So I think it's definitely possible. And then next up, my boy Cody asks, will you teach me how to lift? Bro, you know we lift all the time on Wednesdays, legs. I got your back, dog. And then next up, Nemo Cass Harrell asks, would like to know what you think about creatine, fat burner, BCAAs, NO, ZMA. Do you use some of those products? I actually don't, but I used to, and I always go on big rants about supplements all the time. I feel like the marketing behind these products is like just ridiculous. People will like I feel like people just try to make money off of the people just starting out in the fitness industry. I don't believe in supplements that much. I always say that if you have the extra money to spend on them, you definitely can go out and buy the supplements. But the reason why I don't support supplements, the only thing I take right now actually is whey protein. But the reason why I don't support supplements was because, take a little flashback story here. Back when I was in high school, I took everything under the sun. I mean, I was taking you know, creatine, pre-workout, every vitamin you could think. I was taking a multivitamin, then I was also taking the vitamins separate by themselves, like vitamin E, vitamin B, I was taking like CoQ10. If I read something in a magazine that said that this could potentially help me like gain muscle, I would take it. I mean, I was like a little mini pharmaceutical company in my like bedroom. And what happened was, I was about my senior year in high school. I went through a really bad time, lost a ton of weight, basically like lost pretty much like, I'd say like 70% of my muscle, and almost had to start my bodybuilding journey over from square one. And when I came back and I was working to get back to where I was, and I was on that comeback, I didn't use one single supplement except for whey protein, and I came back and I got bigger than I was before I lost all the muscle. So I was like, heck, why am I wasting all this money on these supplements, putting all this excess stuff in my body that who God knows what is doing to my body over a long-term period of time. So I was just like, there's no point for me to even take it. So my end kind of advice, I guess you could say, on supplements is if you have the extra money, I guess it won't hurt, but I definitely, people get so obsessed over supplements. They're like, oh, what's the best fat burner to take? What's the best creatine? And they're like, they're wasting time on the wrong thing. They should be spending their time trying to figure out how they can find a really good workout program, or how they can stay motivated. Supplements are basically a waste of time in my opinion. And then Nemo also asks, would like to know how many hours a day and how many days a week do you practice? I'm assuming by that you mean how many days a week do I work out? I work out 5 days a week, and I'd say my workouts are about an hour. I mean, I'd say an hour and 15 minutes tops, but I'm normally about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm in and out. I got so much stuff going on with school and stuff like that. I'm not one of those people that kind of mess around and stuff. I get right to it and get out. Nemo also asks, which protein do you use, whey, soy, beef, or casein? I use whey. I just do it in the morning and then after my workouts. And then Nemo also asks, last but not least, straight or gay? Bro, why you gotta ask that for? You know Ryan Nelson loves the pussy. Alright guys, last but not least, No Excuse Charlie asks, in your experience, which seems more heavily correlated with muscle growth? Volume or frequency? I'd definitely say frequency. When I trained, when I was in high school, I loved Jay Cutler, and Jay Cutler, I don't know if he is now, but I know back then he always did like high volume programs, and I was all about doing what he did. And I did high volume for a while, right before I did my first show that I got my pro card at, and I was able to like do well on it and get some gains. But then after I won my natural pro card, I switched over to doing the fat training system, the power hypertrophy adaptive training, and that basically has you work 2 body parts, or each body part twice a week, and my gains like went through the roof. So I think frequency is definitely better. I think high volume almost has diminished returns, because if you're doing like more than 4 or 5 exercises per muscle group, by the time you're towards the end, I feel like it's almost impossible to like put your maximum effort in those like last few exercises if you're doing like, you know, above 20 sets, if you're doing like close to 30 sets. I think it's just hard for anybody really, no matter how disciplined you are, to like actually really put as much effort as possible into those like, you know, sets towards the end of your workout. So I almost feel like it's a kind of like a diminishing return thing with the high volume. So I'm definitely all for higher frequency training. Alright guys, so that's the Ask Anything video. If there's anything that we didn't cover, you can always leave a comment on one of our pages and ask us a question, and we'll try to make another video if we need to. But I'm here signing off from Ocean City, Maryland. Got the ocean in the background. We're about to leave now, take off, head back home. But be sure to be on the lookout. We got a lot of cool videos coming. Now that I'm done studying for the MCAT, I have a lot more time on my hands, and I want to help you guys out. I want to teach you all the stuff that I've learned. I want to motivate you guys. We have a new leg workout video that is actually in the vault. We actually shot it like months ago, and it's a really great video. We're going to be bringing that out soon for you guys. Preview is going to be coming soon. We're gonna actually have the whole video available on the BentBarbell website that you can actually buy. It's gonna be really great. It's a great video. I'm known for my legs, so I'll be able to teach you guys how to get big legs yourself. And then finally, if you guys are interested in any online personal training or life coaching, you can visit my website, rnelsonfitness.com. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow BentBarbell on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram. And if you are interested in online personal training, all you gotta do is email me at ryannelson11491@yahoo.com, and I'll send you over a consultation form, and we'll get started right away in helping you make your body into the greatest thing in the world. So thank you guys for watching. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. I'm signing out. I'll see you guys later.